fat, juicy, and wet. I don't even gangbang, pussy so good, make me throw up a set. That good kitty, good kitty, make it my pet. Pretty pussy, top of pussy, you ain't never gonna forget. Fat, juicy, and wet.
Pussy like weed, pussy like dog, pussy like cocaine, put it up your nose. Ride by my clit, suck on my toes, 24 karat pussy drip like gold. Turn my legs back, eat my booty from the front. Milk mustache on your face when I come. Hit it from the bottom, hit it from the top. Pop girl the pussy cause the pussy type pop. Ooh, slide in and out, slide in and out, slide. I'ma throw it back, let me give you that.
Fat, juicy, and wet.
Fat, juicy, and wet.
I don't even gangbang, pussy so good, make me throw up a set.
Well, you can't say that we don't keep promises here at WLR. The sexiest individuals walking planet Earth, ladies and gentlemen, have returned for your viewing pleasure. I'm sorry that we've been gone for as long as we have. And all the women throughout the United States have been clamoring that they need something to see. They need something to watch. They need some real men. I remember Ravishing Rick Rude did this a long time ago. And ever since he's been gone, somebody had to fill the void, and that was us. But we have to take breaks too. We have to relax. It is WLR. What is going on? The God of Thunder is here with me today. Look at him. Well, don't look at him. Not straight in the eyes. You know what happens. The Andrew Bello. What's up, buddy?
Listen up, all you disgusting sweat hogs out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, man. Happy to be back. Happy to see you boys. Happy to have some company. I did a little pre WLR last week over on my YouTube channel. Maybe we'll start streaming this over there too for shits and giggles. I'll link that up at some point. But thank you to the handful of fellas that joined me over there. We got K-Bob and Redneck and a couple others over there. Armand was the first one to the chat. I can't forget Armand. But yeah, it was a fun time. Quick show in and out, but hit some of the finer points of my issues with the grander picture of the world of professional wrestling. And by professional wrestling, I mean WWE.
Which we may not ever watch again.
It's
weird, not man. My fault. I've been supporting this product in spite of my better judgment for a long time now. I still watch from time to time. Sometimes I get into it and I really watch. I have a lot of I'm very proud of Penta. So I like supporting Penta. Dom is fantastic. Even the Cena run and Cody, they're doing their thing. So there's kind of reasons to watch. But, I'd still paid my money whether I watch the live events or not. The PLEs, but now they're really pushing the envelope here. They're really freaking. I'm just not doing the $30. We'll get into it, but please introduce the man before we get rolling.
Shit, I just realized I got to do this, and I haven't done it in a while, and I don't know if I remember all the words in the proper order. But ladies and gentlemen, he comes to us from the island of Rhode by way of the Denver airport, although he currently resides in his not so seasonal residence of the land of the Sun Devil. He stands at 6 feet, 6.6 inches tall, weighing in at an unbelievably svelte 666 pounds. All biceps. There they are in all their glory. He is the master of the massive memories, the connoisseur of the colossal kajungas, and the hunker of huge hooters. Yeah, it's still Triple H. He's sexy. No, not Triple H. He's stranglery. Strangler. Steve K.
Boom. Thanks, Bells. Wow, that was good memory there. Very, very good. But his memory is not that good, though, because he forgot how much he hates shout-outs because he started the show by doing shout-outs to all the people that were on the show.
I did have to give a few to the few who were worthy. That's it. No more. No more fucking shout-outs.
It's good to see you guys. It's been a good summer. You know, I've been enjoying the break. I'm not sure about you guys, but I've been doing all right. Been doing some fasting. I'm not sure if you can tell. I'm down
You
40
do look
something
a little
pounds.
slimmer than that. you
Look
mentioned.
great. Look great.
I'm over 40 pounds. I've been pushing myself with fasting, and still a long ways to go. And but I've been pretty shocked that I've done over 300
Steven,
hours.
eat something, you skin and bones.
Yeah, you're nothing like an Italian old woman would like spit on me for saying that I should fast. But I did a 100-hour fast. I did two that were 121-hour fasts, which was from Sunday to Friday, not eating a thing. And it's a crazy just pushing yourself, what it'll do. And been walking 20,000 steps Monday through Friday. Yeah, I've been doing it like it's my job because I have the summer off from work. So, you know, I just figured, okay, well, I'm gonna stay active and keep doing my steps and doing this and that, and it's been working out to my benefit, which has really been fun to see the shirts get really loose. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of weird, but it's also kind of awesome. I haven't the last time I got a little bit lean for me was like during the height of COVID, and I didn't realize it's like slowly but surely, you know, you put it all back on and then some. When I found out how much I weighed, because I actually bought a scale, I was like, well, this is not acceptable. So I needed to kind of reel it back in, and I've been doing really well with it. And, you know, I can't remember the last time I had 3 meals in a day, which is kind of crazy, but, you know, it's been really kind of cool to kind of push myself. And actually this past weekend, I took the weekend off from it because my wife and I celebrated our 28th wedding anniversary.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Yeah, thanks. 28 years. We've been together 31 altogether. And we decided to, one of the benefits of living in Phoenix is that you can get to SoCal in like 4 hours. So we decided to do something we haven't done, and we went to Knott's Berry Farms. It's an amusement park in the LA area. And it sucked. It costs like $250 to get in with this meal plan and everything, and honest to God, like within 2 hours I was ready to go. And so we left after 4 hours, and we just
should have waited 2 months. It turns into Knott's Scary Farm.
Yeah, we wanted to do that, but the schedule just won't allow it, which is why we went now, because we've been out here for 3 years now, and we're actively looking to get back to the Northeast and still looking at houses, but the rates are starting to kind of go down pretty soon, and lots and lots of inventory, so there's lots of competition out there causing prices to kind of fall a little bit, which is good to see. But so we spent just a day. We went out Friday night and came back Saturday night, and then just chilled around the house on Sunday, which was really nice. It was nice getting out on the road and, you know, seeing some sights and doing some things. And even if Knott's Berry Farms wasn't that great, just hanging out together and doing road trips is something that's like always been our favorite thing to do. So that was always cool. But I ended up talking to one of my best bud just yesterday, Damon, my old tag team partner from the Archangels back in the day. And he was like, "Oh, sorry, I haven't been in touch with you." Unfortunately, on Friday, his mom passed away. Oh. And that was the only family member he had left. He never had any brothers or sisters, never knew his dad, and his grandmother pretty much raised him. And so his mom passed away. She was 87 years old, and I can't believe she lived that long. She lived quite a life. And
God bless.
Yeah, so it was a bit shocking for him in a way, even though, 87 is up there. But if you knew her, you'd be like, "Oh, she's going to outlive us all," because that's how she was. But so now about 15 minutes before we got on the air, I booked a flight to go up to Boston to visit him for a week. And I'll be doing that in about just under 2 weeks. I'm going to go up there for a week and see him and hang out. He's going to have a mass in her memory, and we'll kind of, we'll do that. It's cool because I haven't seen him since I came out here. You know how it is, like when you go somewhere, it's like, "Oh no, I'll visit," and then like the next thing you know, it's been 3 years since I've been back there. We haven't been back to New England since we left, and so now it's like, okay, well, here's a good reason. So I'm going to go back there and hang out with him and see a few sites, and should be a good time, even though it's not the greatest reason to go, but it's good to support him. He's always been like a brother to me, and I met him when he was 17 when he joined Killer Kowalski's school, and he's lived with me off and on several times. When times are tough or you need a place to like lay your head, we've always had him, stay with us for a while, which is great because he's just like having a little brother around. And it'll be kind of cool to see him and hopefully get a chance to see his daughters because they're gorgeous and they love Uncle Strangler, So that's always kind of cool to do, like a little lunch with them or something like that. So that's what's going to be happening with me in the next 2 weeks is a quick little jaunt up there, and you're getting to see my old stomping ground. And hopefully, like while I'm up there, maybe check out a couple open houses. Why not make it a double whammy trip?
Always looking to capitalize on time, right? And see what else you can get done when you're doing something else. The Strangler, Steve King. Hey, blessings to your ex-tag team partner or tag team partner. To his mom, God bless, and the fam
absolutely.
Up there. Safe travels to you, Striz, when you're coming
Thanks,
up
buddy.
to the Northeast. I'm sure you're gonna have a blast, man. Listen, there's so much to talk about, right? I do want to talk about The Rock, who he's managed to fuck up WWE yet again. So yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about.
Oh, is that the ESPN thing? Is that him?
No, I mean maybe. I don't know. It could be. But
it was Rikishi, but he did it for The Rock.
He did it for The Rock, right? Travis Scott is gone from the WWE because he absolutely sucked from the beginning. So there's that. And I mean, all of that stuff just went absolutely nowhere. They brought back Brock Lesnar, and people are saying, "Man, this guy is still, under investigation. Why are you bringing him back?" There's that. Hulk Hogan passed away, but the biggest deal, in my personal opinion, listen, all of this is a big deal, but is $30. ESPN, and there are people that are actively looking to rationalize this. I don't understand. There are so many things. I must be in a different reality. I don't belong here. I belong somewhere else. I'm convinced of it. I agree with nothing anymore. I was speaking to Charlie Robinson a couple of weeks ago. So shouts to Charlie. And he's like, "What's going on with the Infinite Fringe? Why are you not doing it?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm a cranky old man now. Like, it's like I'm on some get off my fucking lawn. What the fuck are you doing? With a shotgun outside. Like that's me right now. So I don't like anything anymore. But I definitely don't like these people digging into my pockets. I enjoyed Peacock, and I enjoyed being able to watch these PLEs whenever the hell I wanted. And if I wanted to skip one, it was fine. It's $10, right? We spend $10 when we blink nowadays. So I'm like, all right.
$9.99.
So I was cool with it. I'm like, all right, fine. Let's, I'll pay that. No problem. And my son, whenever he wanted to watch, because none of us watch regularly anymore, but whenever my son wanted to watch, he would tune in, like for SummerSlam. He tuned in for the last match. I was live on air doing my show, and he was watching SummerSlam. And when I ran over there, I got to see the end of the Cena and Cody Rhodes match, and then I got to see Brock Lesnar come out. And I was telling my son, I'm like, "Yo, I'm not doing this shit." My son doesn't really care whether we do it or not. But I'm like, I'm not paying $30. I'm just not freaking doing it. And that's just out of the question. And then I get the question, like Professor was hitting me up, and he's like, "Well, you remember when we did this back in the day? We paid $50-$60 for pay-per-views." I'm like, yeah. First off, we rigged that shit. Professor's one of the cheapest people I've ever met in my life. He wasn't paying for this fucking thing. Second, everybody remembers in the hood when we had the rigged cable boxes. So there's that. And if I ever had to pay for something, I would pay for Apollo. Hey, let's go. Sorry, he's eating the cat food. We can't allow that. He's fat. We need to put him on a diet because all he eats his food and he eats the cat's food. Now he's doing it in front of my face. He knows he's not supposed to be doing it. He's sheepishly leaving the kitchen right now. But I would order the Royal Rumble maybe, or WrestleMania. Everything else is whatever. I wouldn't order it. So we're going back to that. I'm not paying you $30 a month for a PLE. I'm just not fucking doing it. It's out of the question. I might do it for the Royal Rumble because I love that event so much. But that's it. I'll pay $30 in January and cut it off. And you better believe I'm cutting it off. Like it's not a thing that I'm going to let it just go. Like I paid for Japanese World and I'm still paying for that shit and I never watch it. This isn't happening with the WWE. Right? It's just not a thing. I'm not gonna do it. I am not. This is $30 every month to watch. What are you gonna give me? What PLEs? If it's not the major PLEs, the major 4 or 5, all the other ones are gonna be like 2 matches, 3 matches, 4 matches. What do they do for? I'm exaggerating. 4 matches, 5 matches they do on some of these PLEs. You know, and it's fine if I'm paying $10, but if I'm paying 30, it's not fine. It's just not, right? And they're saying that they're going to show some of them on regular ESPN television. Great, you know, whatever. But I'm sure they're going to make you pay for the Rumble, for SummerSlam, for Mania, for Survivor Series, and Money in the Bank. I'm just not fucking doing it. Listen, I wanted to go to SummerSlam for a hot second. Listen, I have a lot of issues with the WWE right now. A lot of them, you know, and it's in my backyard, and I wanted to take my son because he's a big Cena fan. But my son was like, dude, we're not doing that. He just told me, Dad, we're not doing it. I'm like, all right, man. He's 14. He's more fiscally responsible than I am, you know. But I you know, I'm a big belt enthusiast. I love buying belts, and I'm always checking. Striz has always put me on too. He's like, hey, check this, check that. And I can't help myself. Striz knows, even Bells knows, like I'm just always looking because
It's a sickness.
I want to buy something. It's $600 to buy a belt on WWE.com. $600.
Yep.
It's insanity. It was
Before Fanatics had it, it was $450.
right. It was $170.
I mean, the alternative is you got to pin the world champion. So just throwing it out there.
Who's the world champion?
I don't know. Is that freaking Rollins?
I could pin that guy. Have you seen the way he dresses?
Like kick
I'm
him in
pretty
his
sure I could
knee.
whoop his ass. You know, so just don't let him walk the streets of New York, you know, because bang, and I'll take the belt. But regardless of that,
And your boy Cody Rhodes, by the way, got a fucking bone to pick with him as usual, but I got a very specific one to pick with him. I was yabbering about it last week, but some motherfuckers out here pushing these Minute Maid quote unquote juice drinks that have what, like 9% actual juice in them.
Right.
Like considering, you know, Cody's ties to the black community, but he should know better than anybody about these sugary drinks being pushed on people. Like, come on, man, this is terrible.
hey, listen, I will tell you, I saw it today. Bianca Belair and Jey Uso on the Minute Maid cartons. It's my first exposure to it.
Yeah,
My son saw them, and then I'm like, "Is that
color right
Bianca
to the
Belair?"
front?
What's that, buddy?
There's a sugary drinks push the people of color straight to the front.
Hey, man,
give
let
me
tell you.
Cody and
If I have to choose between Tropicana Twisters and the Minute Maid Punch, I'm taking a Minute Maid Punch. It is crack. It's absolute crack. And
it's
the
delicious.
Minute Maid no sugar ones are fantastic. It is the main reason I go to movie theaters. I just go there and I buy a mega large drink, and it's all the sugar-free Minute Maid stuff. It's bad for you. It's really bad for you.
way worse for you. Well, no, maybe not in your case, but still, yeah, it's
Right. It's not good, but you know, maybe less. But anyway, I'll finish this up and then I'll send it over to you guys. These people are literally pricing out their base. Literally, man. Like I don't know who is going to be able to keep this up, paying these prices to go to the live events and to continue supporting the product online, you know, via the PLEs and all that other stuff, man. I for one, I'm done. Like I have issues with their politics, which was already pushing me to. They have fucking Kill Tony on for no fucking reason. I'm like, I can't do this shit, you know. Then you see Triple H's stupid ass showing up at the White House. I'm already like, you know what? I'm cashing out. But I'm a lifelong wrestling fan, and I'm like, you know what? Let me watch this stuff, and it's fun. You know, wrestling is dope. It's a part of my life. I'm going to some Mexican wrestling on August 24th here in New York. They're selling tacos. Nobody, no frills. What's that, buddy?
That's not what they call it.
Lucha Libre.
There you go.
But you know my deal.
See,
It's here that they're wearing masks, you know, and it's no frills, but it's gonna be dope. I'm always gonna be a wrestling fan. But WWE, I'm tired of them smacking me in the face. And this money issue now with $30 PLEs, I'm just not doing it. one last thing. They're doing the rationalization that they're saying that if you already have ESPN, you will get these PLEs, and that doesn't make any sense to me at all. It just doesn't make sense. What's the point of it? ESPN is putting out a brand new streaming service in which they will include the WWE. So what's the incentive to buying into the new streaming service if you're going to give out the product for free on already existing channels? That doesn't sound right to me. I don't think that's what's going to happen. They might give you one or two, but they're not going to give you everything. Anyway, bottom line is I'm not paying for this shit. Bells, what's up?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be brief because I'm interested in hearing Striz's thoughts on this, but I'm going to just pirate this, so it probably won't affect me all that much. And I do have a theory as to like why this whole ESPN transition doesn't seem like such a big idea, like a big deal to, to the higher ups at WWE. And I think like in their minds, and Triple H himself will tell you like they are not just competing with the NFL and the Major League Baseball, but they're competing with Marvel and Star Wars and whatever the hell it is. But I think like in their brains, and particularly maybe in his brain, like he thinks of them as like a sport. Like, oh, we'll go on ESPN. Like we're a sport. It's like, nah, man, this is like, I mean, it's sad to say, and maybe this will offend a few people, but this is really more like nerd culture. This is way more akin to like comic books and fucking, like fucking anime really than it is anything like a sport. Like again, like you don't bet on anime, you don't bet on pro wrestling, but you can bet on this. Like as far as what the audience is, right? Like, it's like these are you could see a pro wrestler at like a Comic-Con. Like you can go like you don't see like John Cena showing up at like the Baseball Hall of Fame, like it just kind of doesn't, it's just not that same lane, I think. And I hope Struz was not amongst the people I offended, but but Jesus here. But I just like, I think like as far as just like how it's marketed and what the audience actually is, it's like, it's more akin to fucking like Comic-Con-y kind of culture than it is like the sports bros that go eat Buffalo Wild Wings and watch fucking football and have fantasy leagues and stuff like that. There's those people too, but it's not as big of a fraction as I think the higher ups think it is.
100% spot on. 100% spot on. You nailed it. It is a niche culture. It is kind of more akin to Pokemon or comic books or shit like that. People that are into anime, the likelihood that they're into the WWE is a lot higher, right? That they're into pro wrestling. I'm into all of that shit. I'm also a sports guy to a degree. I just did a fantasy draft in my dynasty league. When I suck at dynasty, apparently I'm going to come in last place again, but I'll have first picks coming up and hopefully rehabilitate my team. I feel like I'm doing something. I feel like I'm a real GM. It's incredible. Let me address Osborne, and then we're going to the Strangler, Steve King, to get his opinion on what's been going on with the WWE. 1602, what's going on? 499. Jesus Christ. So we're getting pizzas. All three of us here on Osborne's tab. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate you, man. I thank you for the generous donation. We certainly didn't ask for it, but we appreciate it. I've always liked your guys' show. Super entertaining. Very sexy as well. Thank you, gentlemen. What a waste with the Cena heel turn. We need to talk about that. That is next up. He paid for it, so we're talking about it. As soon as we're done with this, we're talking about John Cena. Well, I agree with you, buddy. What a freaking disaster. And that's what I was referring to when I was talking about The Rock. Anyway, Strangler Steve King, the stage is yours, sir.
Yeah, that's why I ended up accidentally logging off. I popped for the $5. I was like, holy shit. I'm trying to figure out all the things we can do with that. I appreciate it. It's really very, very kind. And you didn't have to do that. But if more people did, then you and I, with the three of us, could get together more often and have lunch on the listeners, which would be
dope.
Awesome. What's up, Betty D? Good to see her back, too. I was very disappointed when WWE mentioned the ESPN thing. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, they've been. And honestly, the last 10 years, as WWE's core audience has gotten smaller and smaller, they've done nothing but try to milk you for more and more to try to get the number that they need to hit. So prices go up here. They try to sell more merch there. They try to do this. They try to do that. It's like, how much more can they get out of this? And like, you know how it was last WrestleMania in Vegas. My wife and I didn't end up going, even though we booked the hotel a year in advance because the prices were so high. I'm like,
Right.
I'm just no. The answer has to be no eventually, and you have to tell them no because how else are they going to learn?
Right.
You know, they'll tell you, "Oh, it's sold out." It's not sold out. You know, it's a fucking lie. It's a work. They can say it's a work to cover up a lie, but the chances it wasn't sold out. I know people that were there. There were tons of empty seats that could have been sold, and you know, there has to be a cutoff. And this thing with the ESPN announcement, I think, is going to be a pretty big surprise to them with how many people will say, you know what, just no.
It's done. Right.
You know, I'll watch it for free on Mondays and Fridays. I'm already giving you 9 hours of my week doing that and NXT or whatever it is. I'm not going to pay $30 for matches on PLEs that I get schmaz finishes on and get to watch Seth Rollins be world champion. Like, no, sorry, not paying $30 for that. I'll pay $7.99 for it. And I remember like when they were starting to do tons of schmazzy finishes on pay-per-view, and like one of the answers was, well, they're so cheap now that they feel like they don't have to give you finishes anymore. Well, fuck you. I want finishes, or else there's no point to any of this. If something just drones on forever and you don't get payoffs, then you're just going to lose even more people's interest. And I think that this is going to be a big slap in the face to them. And I kind of hope it is, even though I personally won't be paying the $30 for it because I have DirecTV and the ESPN app is already on my TV. But still, like, if I had to pay it, I wasn't going to. In fact,
let me interrupt you real quick, so maybe you can put me on because I don't understand this.
I don't either.
If the
ESPN, trying to figure it out.
Are you going to? I am under the impression. Clear this up for me if I'm wrong. I'm under the impression that this is a brand new ESPN streaming service that's coming out. That we will have to pay extra for. That is not because I have ESPN with Disney.
Okay, well, first of all,
can I qualify for that?
I don't know. First of all, shame on WWE for coming out with such a convoluted thing. Yeah, like, there's going to be a big story thing.
SmackDown on Peacock.
It's a huge story about how they're going to be going forward with PLEs and leave so many questions unanswered and not even to now respond to them as far as, well, how do I get this and why are you doing it? What about my Netflix thing? And what about Peacock? I'm already paying for that. And, you know, they're just kind of like, oh, by the way, boom, we're dropping this on ESPN. You got to pay $30 if you want to see it without, you know, it's like sticking it in your ass without even a kiss on the neck. Like, at what point do you just go, all right, no, this isn't happening. You know, I'll watch your fucking product for free because I'm giving you my time to watch the fucking ads that you sell. You know, you're getting money that way through your TV deals. So you're making money on those shows. Now, even though I'm not personally paying cash in my pocket, I'm paying with hours of my time that, you know, you're not going to get back. And like I said, you got to watch Seth Rollins have a schmazzy finish for bullshit, you know? So they're going to have to like up the quality of the shows and finishes on the pay-per-views if they're going to be trying to get any more money for it. And like I said, I think a lot of people are just going to be like, no, there's no need for us to watch the pay-per-views because as soon as you watch Raw or you watch SmackDown, they'll open with the 3-minute highlight reel of what happened. They have to, regardless of, you know, well, we can't not do that now, despite the fans, because we have to, roll in with this week's stories on how we capitalize off of what happened on the PLE. So you have to tell people this is what happened. You know what I mean? So like they're kind of painted in a corner where even if people don't pay for it, you still have to tell us everything that happened on the free show. So guess what I'm going to do? If for some reason it doesn't work on my DirecTV, I'll wait for them to tell me everything that happened on the fucking free show, and I'll take it from there because I can pretty much piece together your awesome multi-level 4D chess booking that would, you know, everything seems like a shoot, but it's a work. And let me show you how we make our work on this fucking show. But now we can still work the crowd by doing well. We can make it look like our wrestlers are no longer under contract, even though it's very well known that this guy did re-sign a fucking contract. But we're going to say that no, he didn't. And then to make it seem like a shoot, we'll have him sell T-shirts on onehourtees.com or whatever, and we'll make money off of that too. And ha ha ha, everybody will be so surprised. Like, they're trying to have the work within the work. It's like when you're starting to kind of get this deep, first of all, nobody's paying this close of attention to the product because everybody doom scrolls while TV is on. I don't know Like, if you even have to explain that to WWE, but no one's watching that closely. Like, when they're getting ready to roll out the Wyatt 6, and they'd have all these fucking QR codes. In theory, had they done it 15 years ago, it would have been fantastic, and you're trying to figure out these things. But, like, in modern age, when you're watching TV, TV is the secondary thing that's on in the room. You're with the person who you're sitting with, or you're on your phone, or you're doing both, or you're talking back and forth. You get up and get a drink. No one's watching the TV with their eyes glued. I don't want to miss what happens in the background. Oh, look, did you see Fallon Henley was arguing with, fucking whoever the ladies NXT champion is? Her name escapes me because I'm so hot right now. That JC Jane. Look, do you see them arguing during the promo in the forefront? Had nothing to do with anything. It was all about what was happening in the background there. Nobody's watching that. Nobody's caring about it. It would, like I said, it would have been great 15 years ago, but Vince held on way too long. The stuff Triple H thought would have been cool, which would have been cool had he gotten the reins when he should have gotten the reins, is now completely passé, and people just skip over it because they don't care. And then at the end of the day, when they try to pay off these things and have schmazzy matches, none of it mattered anyway.
Man,
is that wrestling in a nutshell right now?
Seriously, though. It really is. Like Cooper Sheen was talking about, we're going to catch these things on the pirate sites, and maybe for the big ones that I don't want to pay for, I might do that. But I'm not going even through the trouble of trying to stream it through a pirate site. I'm good. Like I enjoyed paying $10 a month and turning on my television, and it looks great. The great digital presentation that I have. Like I enjoyed that. I'm just not fucking doing it. And I think to Strizz's point, there's a lot of people that are not going to do it either. And this is what needs to happen to humble these people, because they will continue to push and dig in your pockets if you're willing to give it to them. So this is what needs to happen. I am not going to support the product. I will watch AEW as just cause, like, to get my wrestling fix. I watch AAA as long as it's on YouTube. I'll do that. And that's it. Like I was telling Striz and Bells the other day, I was like, at least I could go to an AEW pay-per-view, a fucking pay-per-view. I get great seats for $100.
Yeah,
with my kid, and I could come home and pay my rent later.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
can I make another point, Billy Ray?
Of course.
Not to cut you off, buddy, because you're on a roll, and everything you're saying is making 100% sense. And I agree with everything you're saying. And here's the thing with AEW, and people can say what they want about Tony Khan. He doesn't know how to book, or long term this or that, or he's not bringing people in to help. There's a lot of truth to that, and I understand it. But here's the difference between Tony Khan and TKO. Tony Khan loves professional wrestling.
Yeah.
He is in love. Wrestling is his mistress. He's putting everything he has into AEW. He's putting his family's fortune up. He's spending money to get guys that he wants to try to do stuff with. Whether or not he gets the payoff with those big name ex-WWF guys, that's a story for another day. But his heart is in the right place, where he wants to compete and he wants to put out great wrestling because he loves wrestling.
Right.
And I can have more patience with a guy like that, whose heart is in the right place and wants to do the right things, against this multi-billion-dollar corporation who tries to book fuck AEW in every single way possible. Whenever AEW is having any kind of shows, WWE has put 17 shows on the same weekend to try to fuck them out of the business. They do it every single time. So every time people say, well, no, they don't. AEW always releases their date first. WWE follows with 18 shows to try to black out that date. And that shows you that, one, there's a little bit of fear that's going on with that, because they wouldn't do that if they didn't fear AEW. And two, WWE is ran by fucking bullies. That's just the end of it. People go, oh, no, it's just good business. WWE produces how much content a year? They can go 3 hours without one show on that guy's one day. But no, we'd have to put a PLE that day. Then we're going to have an NXT show on that Friday the night before. And then, I heard they're going to end up doing, Collision on a Thursday. Okay, well, what we'll do is we'll do a tournament live, and we'll have some people come in, no matter what it is, they'll try to figure out a way to fuck book AEW into the, the atmosphere. But the great thing is about Tony Khan is that he's just going to keep coming at it, and he's going to keep trying, and he's going to keep pushing away. My only advice for Tony Khan is that as much as you do love wrestling, and as much as this is what you've always wanted to do, and I totally respect that, maybe as far as the booking goes, maybe, form a small committee of, 3 to 5 guys whose opinions you really, really admire and respect, guys who have proven themselves in the industry to be able to pay off some big money drawing or big money angles, and just listen to what they have to say, and then still formulate your own opinion, but bring them in on these daily meetings, even just like an hour a day. Be like, here's where I'm thinking about going on this show. Here's what I'm thinking about going on that show. You can still totally outline what you want, but just have them kind of maybe help you put the dots together and help it all make a little bit more sense. Because I think in the long run, if he does do that, the product can only get better. And having that kind of money in the backup and being able to afford those mines is what it's going to take for people to go, well, I watched AEW, and I'll tell you what, they've been a lot better than the last time I saw them a year and a half ago. And if you still are charging for pay-per-views like AEW has to, like that $50 or whatever, have those big payoffs on your pay-per-views. Have the big title changes. Have what WWE is not doing.
Right.
And it's telling the fans, thank you for your support. Not fuck you for your support, which WWE has historically done.
Spot on.
So, and I think if Tony Khan can really stay patient, stay focused, and just get that small golden circle around him, I think it's going to pay off for him in the long run. Because eventually TKO, sees WWE as a number on a sheet. It doesn't love WWE. It doesn't have passion for WWE. It's how can we make our money back, then X amount of dollars on top, market it and sell it to somebody else and make money on top of that. That's all it is to them. It's a spreadsheet.
Spot on, bro.
So that's how they'll never. You cannot compete with somebody who's doing this as their passion project in so many regards. It's just that they're dealing with going up against a $20 billion company, but eventually, like the Triple H's will be gone. The Michael Hayes' will be gone. They will be gone. Tony's only 40 years old. He's got a whole life ahead of him, and if he can start building that momentum now in the correct way. I think when people get so pissed off at WWE, they're going to go, let me at least check out and see what they're doing on the other one. Because there are people who will not watch AEW. No, it's not WWE. I only watch this. There will be some people who will break away because of the $30 ESPN thing. And now's the time to really capture them.
Absolutely, man. And I get it 100%. Bells raised his hand when you said that. And I totally get Bells too. But I think you're absolutely right, Striz. People are going to move over. How many is a different story. But people are going to move over now, and maybe throughout as this thing takes shape and as the time goes by, more people will go over. But I want to point something out real quick. I went to AI, to Google overview, right? AI overview of this situation. And wait till you hear what it says. Striz is a genius. We don't need AI. We have Striz. But here we go. Check this out. I put WWE doing shows when AEW is doing shows or whatever. And this is what came up. Yes, WWE has been known to schedule major events like pay-per-views on the same dates as AEW's major events as a strategy known as counter-programming. This tactic aims to directly compete for viewership and potentially impact success of AEW shows. For example, WWE has reportedly scheduled a pay-per-view in Indianapolis on September 20th, the same date as AEW All Out in Toronto. This is not the first time this has happened, with NXT Battleground facing off against AEW Double or Nothing and NXT Heatwave going head-to-head with AEW Forbidden Door. This is according to Sports Illustrated. Here's the kicker. This practice is seen by some as a sign of WWE feeling threatened by AEW, by AEW's growing popularity and success, according to post on Facebook. Anyway, that's what it says. And Striz had said that almost verbatim before we went to the AI. And I think it's absolutely true. They shouldn't be doing this shit, for one. But that's it. I will watch AEW, and when it strikes me, I'm going to pay for one of their pay-per-views and not think twice. But WWE, I'm not giving you any more of my money. at least not consistently, not for $30. And if they lower this, fine. I'm not going to try to bootleg it. I don't care. Only reason I still watch Monday Night Raw is because I have an active Netflix subscription for many years prior to WWE being on there. Bells, what's up? And then we got to talk about John Cena for Mr. Osborne.
Yeah, I like that AEW is getting bullied by WWE. I don't know if that's where we were going. I want to emphasize that in case I wasn't clear. But yeah, no, let's talk about the Cena thing. I kind of ranted about it a little bit last week. I've kind of think about it a little bit more since then, and it's weird because remember John, his initial claim when he turned heel is that he wanted to ruin wrestling, and like in a lot of ways, this whole failed turn and instant turn back with no explanation as to what happened with The Rock or what happened with Travis or why he suddenly became a good guy because Cody like asked him to be, and it's just also it just gives me the vibe that, hey, we're doing a show on Netflix alongside Raw that's talking about how fake all of this shit is. So like maybe we don't even have to have an explanation. And when we're there,
fuck.
Yeah, like who can then what is anything, right? Like then why does any of it matter? Like why there needs to be some continuity, some order, some structure in this narrative world that's created. And like if we could just flip characters on a dime, because like as I was ranting about it last week, it's just like, oh well, even in a world where like maybe somebody got injured or something like that, it's like, yeah, people get injured. Like that's fucking part of this entire art form, is that people get injured, and you can build a 3 to 6 month storyline, and that motherfucker can get injured at month 4 before you get to pay it off. You still got to find a way to take that juju and roll it into something else, or find a way to to salvage it, or lay in some sort of seed for it to continue down the road, maybe whatever. But yeah, that's the whole thing. If it's all of a sudden like they just come out on Raw, like all of a sudden Adam Pearce comes strutting out, he's like, well, Seth Rollins is injured, so all of that stuff that you saw, never mind, pretend it was Cody Rhodes, he's here now, here we go ahead and Raw. And like, all right, so what the fuck are we even doing here anymore? So yeah. I think the fact that the Cena thing was not only so lackluster and so seemed like such a wasted opportunity, it did kind of break wrestling in that we're just like, whatever, he just turned and we just have to accept it because we kind of knew it was coming anyway. And it's just kind of the way it is because everything's meta now, and it doesn't really matter, that it makes no narrative sense whatsoever.
Yeah. Now, could you imagine, and the billions of dollars that the Avengers, anything Avengers, Marvel Comics, movies, and comics have made in the last 20-something years. And it's because they've taken such care and nuance and multi-level booking with that made people fall in love with it. And when they'd have a big payoff and the whole theater just fucking erupts, it's that we're all sharing that moment together. Yes, that's exactly what we wanted to see. You know what I mean? And there have been moments in those series where you can't help but you get teary-eyed and you cry, like you fall into the story. Now we all know Avengers is not real. It's a completely made up thing. But we allow ourselves to fall into this story because that's what we do when we go to a movie. We want to be taken for a ride. So could you imagine if in the last 20-something years of all these Avengers and Marvel movies, if they didn't take the care to make sure that all the pieces fit in the right places as best as possible, and when they try to have that moment, it wouldn't hit as hard. It wouldn't make you cry. It wouldn't make, when Happy says, yeah, I want a cheeseburger too. It's the line, man. It gets me every time. I get an apple in my throat and I just like cheeseburgers, I want to, it's just that it's the moments that make you say, man, these people are real for this moment in time, but wrestling hasn't done that. They haven't kept that kind of thing. And they'll say, well, we can't, this guy gets hurt. You can always, no matter how hurt somebody is or injured, you can have them on TV still. Yeah. They don't have to be in a ring fucking doing goddamn leapfrogs. They can still be a part of the show. And I don't understand why. Well, sometimes it is good to have somebody off for a while if
Right.
you're sick of seeing. Like Gunther, he needs a break. We have to take a break because how can you miss him if he doesn't go away? So when he does come back, he'll get a pop at Royal Rumble or whenever they decide that he's ready to come back. And he could use the vacation anyway. He's been rolling pretty hard the last 4 years. But in wrestling, you need to have the continuity too. You need to use the thing like the Avengers and the Marvel comic things as your muse of how to really tell these longer arcing stories that go from show to show, or from big pay-per-view to big pay-per-view, or from year to year. There's multiple arcs in wrestling that you can have, for as short as a one-night payoff to, the Mega Powers explode, and it took us 3 years to get here when Randy Savage was the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion of the world and Hulk Hogan was the Kingpin, and then finally they're on the same page, and then until they're not, and then the big WrestleMania match, and it's phenomenal. You can do it, and people have proven that they're willing to fall into it and let them believe for this period of time that this story is an amazing story, and there's so many great stories they can tell, and they have some great talent that can pull it off. But when you do that, like with the John Cena turn, which never needed to happen to begin with, because The Rock needed a fucking swing dick in an office somewhere and show how much he was in charge, and ruined the top babyface for the last quarter century, ruined his year retirement just to swing dick. Ruined a ton of shit, gets himself involved and pulls himself back. Now you're a heel. Now you're not. We won't say why. Oh, just go out there. Oh, it's all a bunch of phony bullshit anyway. Even The Rock's like, hey, man, it's all a work. Fucking relax. That's some cop-out bullshit.
Oh,
That's nobody wants to know halfway through the Avengers movie. We're just going to take a quick intermission to remind everybody that don't fall too in love with Iron Man, because he may or may not make it to the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I just want to warn you now, because there's kids in the audience, and I don't want them to be upset about it. You don't need to do that.
Can Nicole Kidman do it?
Yes, and she tells us how much she loves cinema.
I hate that stupid ass commercial.
Fuck you! How
Stupid
dare
twat.
you? We do not speak ill of Nicole in this locker room, okay?
The movie theater is like magic.
Don't let me lose my momentum here. I'm tying it up. With wrestling, them dropping the John Cena thing the way they did nobody any favors, and they could have just put their heads together for a couple hours and let's figure out the best way out of this. And they didn't. They just said, "Oh, fuck it, let's just fucking go with it," and they say, "Fuck it, he's done. He's a babyface now." And nobody wanted to boo him in his retirement anyway, so people were happy to be able to cheer him. But think of all the kids that had to go and listen to Cena call him an asshole because The Rock wanted me to be a heel, and I'm going to show everybody that I'm still a company guy, and I'm going to do what I'm told. Meanwhile, they had all those shirts made, and all those every city has their own John Cena belt made with their city's colors on it. They fucking were willing to fuck their own merch to have this angle happen. Like I said, just so The Rock can pretend to be the boss for an hour and a half. And just say, well, we'll turn him back whenever we want. And, now he's got like 5 matches left, and we have to just pretend it never happened. And it's such a waste, and it never needed to happen. And it really put a mark on a guy who, wasn't a perennial babyface. He had a heel time in WWE. He doesn't need to be a perfect like Ricky Steamboat run or where he just never turned heel or whatever. But it's like here's a guy who deals with kids who are dying.
Right.
Let's just leave him the way he is, because we don't need to
leave it alone.
It's funny you should say that. I think maybe I did my initial speculation on this whole heel run as it had more to do with his acting career, but I think perhaps he was just getting such a backlog on the Make-A-Wish requests that he needed to maybe lighten the demand a little bit. So he turns heel and tells all these kids that they suck, and in hopes that maybe he could fucking breathe and not have to visit a hospital every other day.
Right,
man. I'm glad Striz brought it up. I'm glad Striz talked about it that way. I don't have to talk about The Rock for too much longer because it pisses me off to see what that dude has done. And it's years now for The Rock apologists. He does it once a year for 3 years now. He fucks something up.
Yep.
Right?
3 WrestleManias in a row, he's fucked.
Wait until he comes back and pins somebody in Saudi Arabia for a big old fucking 8-figure paycheck.
That's
happening.
happening.
He'll do it. He'll stack up Braun Breaker and whoever the 2 world champions are at the time, and he'll fucking sit on them like with his arms crossed like Andre the Giant did in like 78 when he would do the multi-man matches.
And
like, just bury everybody.
They have Rockberry Roman.
Stupid belt.
Sorry, brother.
He's still coming out with that dumbass belt that means nothing.
They say Braun Strowman and a Braun Breaker.
What happened to Travis Scott? Not that I give a fuck, right? Everything fell apart. Nobody wanted to see John Cena as a heel. No, I think I mentioned it here on WLR. I was like, I'd like to see him run as a face. Nobody wanted to see that shit. But whatever, they just wanted to cheer the dude.
Right.
So it was easy to shift it, but you expect me to pay $30 when you're not even going to explain some shit like that? You know what the fuck? Like, I was like, my God, what is going on? And the thing is, there's a pattern here. And we can get into it. We're not going to, at least not this episode. Maybe next week when it's a slow news day, I will detail the nonsense that's been going on in WWE ever since the. What's up, Striz?
I was just gonna say it's like they forgot. Like, to them maybe $30 doesn't sound like a lot of money, but $30 is a lot of money when you can figure it only fills up half your fucking tank with gas.
Mm-hmm.
When you can only get one person's entree when you go out to eat now for $20-something. When you go out to eat as a couple now, it's $60-something after tax and tip without alcohol. Like, what you're trying to do is you're taking away that money that you use for so many other things. That we're already rents have never been higher, insurance has never been higher. Food costs are still very high. It's come down in the last year, but it's still high. To the point where even who I can't afford to eat steak, won't eat steak because I'm like, I'm not paying $17 fucking for a steak. So if the choice is I can eat 2 steaks a month or pay for WWE to give me fuck finishes with no explanation, I'll choose the 2 steaks.
Right? No, absolutely. Like, I spoke to my grocer, the manager of my Key Food here. We get along. I'm there every day, every fucking day,
Yeah.
And I told him today, I was like, hey, dude, like, have you noticed any significant price increases when you're doing the buying? He's like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, it's happening. It's going up. I'm going to need that $30. Yep. I'm not going to give it to the WWE to give me shit programming that I want to. No, fuck that. Right? I'm going to go buy whatever $30 is going to get me at the supermarket because it's just a necessity of life. My refrigerator is borderline empty right now, and I went to the supermarket today and spent $85 on nothing. Just
right. Yeah, you bring it, and it's 2 bags, and you go, "How is this $85?"
Right, exactly. And remembering what we used to be able to buy for $85.
Yeah, oh my God! It's one of the best things about fasting is I don't spend money on food.
I'm not eating, therefore I'm not spending money.
My weekly grocery bill has been $45.
Good for you.
My weekly grocery bill has been $45 because I make my wife a salad for dinner. She has a bowl of cereal at breakfast, and she doesn't eat lunch. So, like, I'm very lucky that even that is still $45 a week. It's ridiculous.
I'm fasting from now on because I can't afford to eat. But yeah, man. No. But bottom line is this: like, what they did with John Cena. Listen, I'm glad that he was a face. I thought that would be a better look for this run. But there was zero explanation. Well, there was an explanation for it, but it was a load of crap, right? What happened with The Rock was a load of crock. Travis Scott wasn't a good idea to begin with. It just wasn't.
Right? How did they think that was going to pay off? The guy that's 5'9" and 140 pounds soaking wet.
Fuck out of here, And the thing is, like, I saw an Instagram post, and we had spoken about it here on WLR several times, but there was this guy, he talks wrestling on Instagram, and he was talking about the ages of all the guys, the current guys right now. And everybody's in their 40s with the exception of like Gunther, and he's like, who's going to be the next guy? What's going to happen here? Who's going to be the guy? Because they're not cultivating anybody. In reality, who's going to be the next Cody Rhodes? And even Cody, we've discussed, is not a part of Triple H, of the Triple H era. They got to create somebody. to keep people
everybody
in.
who's
What's up,
like,
Bill? What's up?
yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just now you're saying this. I'm like thinking out loud. Like even the young people that they do have that have like some long term potential. Like most of them are heels, right? Like it's like fucking like Gunther, like you mentioned, fucking Breaker right now, and
Yeah.
certainly for most of his career, you'd imagine.
Even Trick Williams is a heel right now.
Trick Williams is a heel right now. There was another one that I was just thinking of, but yeah, it just seems to be like all of these people happen to be kind of on the natural.
They have Penta, who's a great babyface, but he's done nothing but jobs.
Yeah. And even him, is he going to really, he'll be a world champion maybe at some point, but is he ever going to really be like the guy in WWE?
No, he
like,
won't be the guy, but at least like he has fanfare, but they're just wasting it.
Yeah. Today.
Oh, and Logan Paul. That was the other one I was thinking of. Like,
Fuck
there's
that guy.
like but he's like just like a major fucking heel. Like even he'll have a babyface run, but it'll go about as well as the Miz's babyface runs have ever gone, and that'll be kind of at the end of it.
Today, when I was in the supermarket spending $85 on nothing, I rolled up to the cashier and I did the Penta walk when I rolled up. It was very cool. I didn't record. My son was with me. I didn't record. I did the whole fucking thing. I went, I got to keep myself entertained while I'm there. Yeah. So I did the whole cero, miedo, pendejos. I added a pendejo, and then I just did the strut while I was walking. Next time I'm going to have my son.
Did Smooth Operator start
There's
playing
another
in the
one.
background?
Dom. Like all these people are heels. All of the young stars are heels.
Dom should be the next WWE champion. He's already the greatest intercontinental champion of all time. He's the greatest champion North America has ever seen.
And after this Saturday, he'll be the triple A mega campeonato.
Mega champion.
Yep.
The greatest Mysterio ever and the greatest Guerrero ever, hands down. But yeah, no. So that's what's going on with the WWE. Listen, I want to support. I've been watching since I was 4 years old that I can remember. I've always been a WWE guy. I was never. I'm from New York, so that's what we got. Like, I mean, I was an ECW guy as well, but it was all about WWE. I would not watch Nitro when Nitro was hot.
Oh no shit!
To support WWE, and WWE was shit for the longest. I would watch the first hour because all the luchadors were on the first hour. So I'd watch the first hour, then I'd go over to Raw, and then I'd watch the replay of Nitro. If I got to stay up that late or whatever, not I have to go to school the next day. But I was that much of a hardcore WWE guy that I would not want to support the product when they were going head to head. I'm like, I'm watching WWE. Fuck this, whatever. Like, because that was my thing, and I'm just, I mean, I'm at a point where the product hasn't been that damn good anyway. Like there has been some people that have drawn me in. I've left the product like twice already, and it keeps bringing me back. So I'll probably come back. Not that I'm gone, but $30. I'm not doing it. I will watch Raw from time to time as I do, and whatever PLEs they throw out there. If I so happen to be home, I'll watch them. But for now, nothing. I'm not going to give them any of my money. It's the end of that. You touched on it a little bit, Striz, before we get out of here. But Betty D wanted to know about your thoughts specifically on that Unreal show.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, and I'm not going to watch it because I don't need to be mad for no reason. You know what I mean? Like when I text you and said, if you're in a good mood and don't want to be, maybe that's what applies to that. If you're in a good mood and you don't want to be, watch that fucking waste of time. From what I've heard, it's just a Triple H vanity project. And trust me, I go so far back, more back with Triple H than pretty much anybody in the biz. And part of me still loves the guy to death because he was such a great dude. But I don't need to watch people's vanity projects. And we broke into the business with Killer Kowalski, and we still protected the business. And even as wrestlers back when we were breaking in 1992, as a wrestler that people know that what you're doing isn't a legitimate sport. But you don't give into that. You don't answer it. You just let people think whatever they want to think. But it's your job as a performer to at least make them question you. And that's when you're doing a great job, is when they watch the show and they go, well, I know that was fucking phony, but this guy is the real deal. And that's what I always tried to do coming into the business, because I knew I was being given, the set of keys to, this industry that was, very backroom and brotherhood and almost like a secret society. And you had to offer something pretty special to be a part of it, and you had to protect it. And you didn't just give things away, and you didn't do things tongue in cheek, and you worked your ass off to earn a spot on a card and to prove that you could go out there and not embarrass yourself, but not give it all away.
Right.
And that takes a long time to learn it the right way, to be a proper worker about it, and to be able to go in there and make it look like a contest, but without making it look cooperative, is a special art form and skill. And I almost feel like the reason they do this is so that they can, like you said, have excuses as to something being sloppy and be like, well, you know how it is here. Watch this, and I think ultimately things like that and exposés hurt the business, because
of course,
whenever you had a TV show like David Copperfield makes the Statue of Liberty disappear, you don't want to watch the show where David Copperfield's, here's how I made the Statue of Liberty disappear, because then you go, well, that wasn't so fucking great. And then the next time he has a special, be like, oh, he just does it with mirrors and lighting. Right. I don't care. I'm not going to waste my 2 hours watching all this build up to see, somebody jump the canyon or whatever. It's just a big fat work anyway. Why waste your time? I'm going to watch baseball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think those shows, one, they don't last. And two, how much jerking off does somebody need? Like, oh, I'm still a vibrant. I want everybody to know that everything is coming from my head. This is all my ideas. Until The Rock comes in and fucking says, no, we're doing this and this. And then ruins everything. So I just don't see the point to it. And I don't know why people would even want to watch it. Like I said, there's so many other things you could do with, if you're not watching AEW, spend that hour you want to spend watching that. Watch the first hour or the last hour of AEW and say, hey, may not be the greatest thing I've seen, but it's better than watching exposés. And obviously, if the business is so fake, why is there 18 guys out with fucking debilitating injuries and back surgeries and broken necks and all this shit? I think it's a cop out to what we really, really do. And then the best guys you never questioned, you just go, wow, man, they were great at what they did.
That's it. Yeah, man, that makes a lot of sense, man. I haven't watched Unreal at all. Not that Betty D wanted my opinion. She didn't want to hear what BRV had to say. She certainly didn't want to hear what Bell had to say.
Betty D likes me.
You wanted to hear what Striz has to say, and
me and Betty we're on levels here. Her and
I get it, Betty. I understand.
Unfortunately for you, Betty, you're gonna have to hear what I have to fucking.
And
say
Betty, if you want to, if Betty wants to tweet me nude pics, you can reach me at StrangerSteve _ and my DMs are open.
So slide into the DMs. So check this, man. I haven't watched it, but I would, just to critique it, and I want to, just so Triple H will have less cover to escape from things when he admits to being fucking the reason why something's happened. He's like, I did this. Oh, word, you did this. Thank you for clearing it up. And then we can throw all the hate on Triple H for whatever reason. But I'm not very keen on watching this. I don't really care. And Stevie Richards, go check out Stevie Richards. That's the dude. And he takes apart Triple H whenever he can. And he did a whole thing on this. So go watch Stevie's channel. He's fucking killing it over there. Part of Hameen Media. He's a family here. He's a part of our wrestling family. God bless him. He's doing a lot better, and his channel's kicking. So go check that. But I'm not. I haven't seen it, and I don't care. I just want to see it to critique it, to be honest with you. And I'm having a hard time even doing that, like just pressing the button and saying watch. Like, I'm having a hard time doing that. I really don't want to watch it, but whatever. The Andrew Bello, tell us what's going on and take us home. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm also not watching Unreal. I'm probably never gonna watch it. I'm like, largely because like that. like obviously we talk about wrestling, like we get kind of meta about it. Like I'm not trying to pretend like I'm in particular like shy about breaking a little bit of kayfabe from time to time. Although like I just don't like it. Like it just doesn't make me feel right. Like I want to, if I'm gonna know what's going on behind the curtain, I feel like I should have to go out of my way a little bit for it, and it shouldn't be like spoon fed to me. You know, like it feels like it's just now. It's just all very awkward, and it makes me concerned in the long run. Like to my point before that Steve kind of compounded on, it's like, you know, now we're getting sloppy with the kayfabe, we're getting sloppy with the writing, we're getting sloppy with the booking, we're getting, you know, how much longer before, you know, the wrestling guys start to age out and it's just a bunch of fucking douchey Hollywood dropout writers trying to write this shit, and they start to slack on the fucking, you know, putting the ring together, and then they start slacking on the fucking pyro, and then all of a sudden we got a no one heart situation on our hands. I'm just saying it's a very fucking slippery slope, and it starts with where they're at right now. So it makes me concerned for the well-being of the art form, as you know I love so much. So that said, not to get too much of a downer, I will say something positive about AEW, at least one of their talents. I did watch Happy Gilmore 2 recently, and MJF was fucking brilliant. I thought he was great. As soon as he popped up, I was like, holy shit, because I didn't even realize he was in the movie, but I immediately identified him, obviously, when he popped up, because he is better than us. So it was good. Yeah, it was an interesting movie overall. Actually, kind of, I'll give it a 2 thumbs up. I thought it was really funny, much funnier than I anticipated it being. And otherwise things are good over at the Bellominium, and work's kicking my ass. But that's
ain't nobody asked you about the Bellominium.
Yeah, I'm just
nobody asked you about work.
Wrap it up. Tell me how it's going. I'm wrapping up.
I said take us home. I didn't say tell us how it's going.
I'm taking you home. I'm taking you to my home. I'm letting you into my home. You ungrateful son of a bitch. You just sit there and listen with your fucking Pizza Planet T-shirt and fucking.
I've peed in Bella's home.
Yeah,
dope.
He has peed in my home. It's
twice.
No further elaboration needed. But yeah, otherwise,
an honor. Not many people
had to mark my territory.
Yeah. Did.
Striz went to Asgard.
I do that when I go to people's houses. I get it's my house now.
Just walking, standing there pissing as soon as they open the door.
Yeah. Just like, little here, little that corner, little that corner.
Lord. Anyway, you can find me on the X at the Andrew Bello, TH to the EAN to the DREWBELLO. And YouTube, no recent music is going up. I'm working on new stuff. It's going to be a slow process, but we're starting it again. I'm getting back in the groove.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Armand, I had to put this up because this was a throwback. It says stop lying, BRV. You know it's a C-town. Wepa.
Wepa.
I haven't seen a C-town in quite a long time. I wonder if they still exist. But yeah, I spent a lot of time in C-towns. That's a New York thing. I don't know if it's a Jersey thing, Bell. You remember C-town?
I feel like I've certainly been in a C-town. I may have even seen one recently, but I have been to New York a lot recently, to your point. So I may be blurring the lines a little. It could be a Jersey thing though.
Yeah.
I've worked a bunch of C-towns.
I got that. It didn't go over my head. I got it. All right, Striz, tell the people where they can find you, bro.
All right, they can find me on the X.
Oh.
At Strangler Steve _, and I've been throwing up some polls here and there, and we've been having some fun with those during the PLEs and stuff like that. And it's been fun, and it's great to be back. You know, I'm glad Bello brought it up, and it's really cool to see you guys again. And obviously, our chat never stops. You know, that's always ongoing. But it's good to see you guys on, you know, and do another couple shows and have some fun with it and see how, you know, things start to go into the fall, and we're
gonna be on the road to WrestleMania before you know it.
Will be. It'll be here before you know it. I know my wife kind of wants to go to Survivor Series, but we're waiting to see what's going to happen with the prices there, because it's in San Diego, and we try to find as many excuses as possible to spend time in SoCal. So, you know, we'll see what happens with that, and I guess we'll bring everybody along for the ride.
Fantastic. And you can find me on the X. This we're promoting my X now because I bit the bullet and I paid Elon Musk, who I am very happy with right now. Elon and I are going out for dinner, and we're talking about strategy. We're doing all of that. I'm cool with Elon right now. That's not to say that I'll be cool with him a couple of months from now. I don't know. But right now we're cool regardless. I am streaming my show on X. You guys have been showing up. It's fantastic. Really appreciate all the people that show up.
How much is a bacon cheeseburger on Mars?
Don't know.
You should ask Elon when you hang out with him.
I might.
Does he want? He's going to open a diner there, isn't he? Like on one of the space stations or something like that.
Occupy Mars. That's what
It's
we're
going to
doing.
be factory grown meat, though.
It's going to be a whole thing. Go follow me at Obi-Wan. You know me. Figure out how to spell it. We're streaming live every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, doing our thing. We went 3 hours 2 weeks ago. About 500 of you showed up for that. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And that's it. I'm on Ground Zero Plus doing the 7 p.m. show on Sundays. America Unplugged 12 p.m. And that's all we got going on right now. But we are planning an expansion, ladies and gentlemen. We are branching out. So let's see what develops. But thank you for tuning in, WLR. It's been a minute, but it's been fun too. To sit and discuss professional wrestling. And to be honest with you, that's one of the things that I'm going to get pissed at the WWE for. If they're making me pay, I'm not going to pay the $30, but I'm not going to be actively watching the PLE, so we can't go back and forth on them. Even though I haven't been around for the last couple of them, I've been doing stuff. But typically we text back and forth at least for some of these matches when we're watching them. So we still have the rest of the year. So I'm going to take full advantage of that and try to watch.
Well, we can work around this, Billy Ray. If it comes down to it, I will watch the PLE so you don't have to, and we'll open the show with me doing like a 5-minute monologue about what happened at the show the night before.
That makes sense.
Here's a 5-minute breakdown of what you missed because you didn't want to pay $30 for ESPN.
I fucking love it. V. Andrew Bello.
I'll make it
I'll
work.
catch your punk ass down the road.
No! Fucking forgot.
Tell him what's up, Stridge.
Like big kitties.
Thugging with my round, my coochie pink.
Lost my pen. I'm even more angry.
What the niggas come looking for the hoes. Quit playing, nigga, cause suck a bitch soul. Pound Town, just left Pound Town. Let my nigga, he just took a bitch down. Yeah, that nigga dick a bitch down.
The fuck is my pen?
Yeah, that nigga eat me out.
Ooh.
Pound Town, just left Pound Town. Let my nigga, he just
filthy.
took a bitch down. Yeah, that nigga dick a bitch down. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, we're still on air, but that's gotta be one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my
It's
life.
filthy as fuck.
Good. I mean, not only is it filthy, but it's bad. It's like somebody did it in their basement, and it became a freaking a super huge hit. And now Sexy Red is on NXT.
That's who it is. That ratchet ass.
That's
bitch.
Sexy Red, ladies and gentlemen. I was gonna play
Cardi B. All these morons out there bitching and complaining about Brock Lesnar had no problem with Cardi B hosting the show. Who was openly admitted to drugging and robbing men. But cool. Like
you go, girl. You have to get yours.
yeah. You know.
All right. Bye.
Unbelievable.
Boom. We're still on the air. We're still on the air. We're still on the air. We're still on.